Hello everyone. Today I want to show you how to blend, actually not to blend, how to uh, take away the pastels. I'm talking about soft pastels in this video. How to uh, correct your mistakes on sanded pastel paper. And I have art paper here. Uh, okay, and I have pastel premier gray paper. So instead of actually using an eraser, I used to use an eraser early in my career. I don't know why I did that. I just used this. But I think that the best way to remove pastels, if you don't need a certain color or layer, is not to use an eraser, because look at what is happening when you use the razor. You just spread, the you're spreading the color. You're spreading the color, and even if you use a brush, like I'm using an oil brush, you see still there is some colors on your paper, and the same is happening with pastel premier. Is a little bit better. You see, I'm using an eraser and it's almost gone. So with pastel premier, it's okay. It's possible, right? But when you have a white or off-white sanded paper like this is art 400 400 grit sanded paper, or just a Lux Archival, the same thing. So I'm also I'll show you later. Okay, so the best thing is to actually you can brush it off, but the problem when you brush off pastels is that the particles are in the air actually. So you're gonna breathe them, and it's total and healthy. And this is the reason I love oil pastels more, because there's no dust. And even if I work with dry pastels, I try to work outside, either I paint plein air or on the deck, if I try to finish the painting that I started plein air. So you see, I'm just I can brush it off like this, but you cannot completely brush it off. And for instance, you want to add another layer, and the best way, as I figured out, I just really figured it out recently, is to use a sponge, wet sponge, and just remove the layer like this. Yeah, like this. It doesn't remove the layer really, but yeah, it's okay. It's actually it's working. And you can also use a cloth just to, like this. So you see, in fact, I almost removed this green color. The surface is a little bit wet, and you need to wait for it to dry completely, and then add the color which you need, because if I start adding it on wet paper, well, it's okay. Actually, I'm adding red, and you see here. So yeah, it works. But well, water really dries up really fast, so it's a good way. Especially, the only drawback is that if you add lots of water, you just take a usual sponge, you know, the kitchen sponge, and use it. Or you can actually use a paper cloth, wet paper cloth, which is, uh, uh, yes, which is fine. And uh, also, the only drawback, sorry, is that uh, UART paper is kind of thin. It's very good. It has a very good grit, but it's thinner than pastel mat, or sennelier pastel paper. And the same is with Premier pastel paper. They start kind of not folding. Yes, they start creating waves on the paper, which is not good. And if you use a lot of water-based underpainting on UART or pastel Premier paper, you need to glue it, to glue these papers to self-adhesive pastel boards. They sell, one is crescent pastel board. Well, you can attach any medium. I mean any paper with any medium to this board. It's you can buy it on Dick Blick, and also they have 20 by 30 self-adhesive boards on Dick Blick. They sell a pack of pack of 5 of them, and you can add this. You can, yes, you can attach this thin pastel paper to these boards. And another thing is that I figured out, this is the reason I don't really, because I believe that when you paint on off-white or white paper, like Lux Archival is snow white, UART is a little bit off-white, they need to be, you need to use underpainting to achieve a certain contrast. And usually we use water-based underpainting, like watercolor. Acrylic is not very good, but watercolor is fine. Or alcohol, acrylic ink is very good. Acrylic ink or ink tense ink, which is a set of sticks, you know, dry sticks, ink, pressed dry sticks. These are ink sticks, ink tents by Derwent, and these are very good. You just add water and you can create an underpainting. But well, generally, yes, you need to establish your dots if you paint on white paper. And yeah, this is the only drawback. It just, if you use lots of water, I mean, if you use a water underpainting, water soluble, I mean, if you use a medium, water soluble medium underpainting, yes, it can create kind of waves on your paper. So this is, you know, another thing I want to say is that Pastel Premier now is much better. I just bought a roll of gray Pastel Premier. This is from the old this piece from the old pack, and I just bought a gray Pastel Premier roll, and it's gorgeous because I think that the paper is thicker and the tooth is much better, and it's much sturdier, and the tooth is much better because it accepts more layers. Because you earlier I just started painting. If you start painting with soft pastels right away, you've got piles of dust, I mean of layers, dust on Pastel Premier, which is not really good. So you need to start with hard pastels or semi-hard pastels, and only then you can switch to soft pastels. And well, my favorite is still Pastel Premier, or sorry, not Pastel Premier, Pastel Matte, by Clairefontaine. It's a French brand, and I also like Sennelier. So if I like, this is a painting of rose I just started a while ago, and I'm not going to paint it. I'll show how to paint it, but I'm just show you how, if I want to remove something. Okay, I'm just, I'm just removing this layer. Okay, and you see that um, uh, this paper uh, works uh, works really well with just removing your layer with water, you know. And I still need to wait for it to dry. Okay, you can use a paper cloth like this, but still it's still wet, but it's okay, because if you want to just add some, okay, I'm not really, it's not really, yeah, it's still wet, so I'm not adding any color, but let's see that I want to add. And you see I'm actually, even if it's wet, I'm adding this color, and it's very good. What I want to say is that all such pastel papers as pastel matte, or the new one, uh, not Sennelier La Carte. Don't use water on Sennelier La Carte, because it's heavily sanded, and you just can feel the sand on the surface, so it doesn't really accept water. Pastel La Carte, but Sennelier started adding, producing. They actually started producing Sennelier grain pastel paper, which is thick. It has a very good tooth. It's not really, it's sanded, but it has some, it's not as smooth as pastel matte, but it has some kind of, it's a little bit rough. So you can create textures, and this is why it's called pastel grain. So you can easily use water to remove any colors there. And also another brand, another paper is pastel Sennelier mixed media card, which is a gorgeous, it's new paper, it's gorgeous, really. You can use it with oil pastels. I started using it with oil pastels. I'll do a video later about it. I'll show how I use oil pastels, and I just finished a big dry pastel painting on Sennelier mixed media paper. All these papers are not really papers, but kind of more like cardboard, and they are thick, and they have a good tooth, and they're not bad for your fingers. All like pastel matte, Sennelier, pastel grain, Sennelier mixed media paper are very kind of smooth, but they're still rough and smooth at the same time. So you won't hurt your fingers, and you can easily use water to remove layers. Yeah, you see it's dry now, so I'm just adding color, and it's totally fine on pastel. Okay, on pastel matte. This is anthracite color. This is, yeah, you see pastel matte. This is number 6, a small pad. I think it's 7 by 9 inches. Okay, this is basically it. And if you like this video, follow me on YouTube, and put a like to this video. And okay, see you soon. Bye.